Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Christmas Eve live stream. I only get to say that once a year, but here we are closing in on Christmas Day in the UK. It's 4 minutes past 11, so we've got 56 minutes until we're into Christmas Day officially. But hello everybody in the live chat room, thank you for joining me tonight. And believe it or not, the hat survives. It's still the same hat that I used in that music video and the same one that I've worn in every single Christmas Eve live stream. So we have a bit of a different theme for tonight. And as for the live stream, we're going to do things as we normally do them, but normally things... Not normally things go wrong, but things can certainly go wrong. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But seemingly everything's working at the moment, and you can see me and hear me, hopefully. So hello to all you guys. Let's give you a shout out in that live chat room. We have Diamond Girl 1234, Cindy, Ninja Kitty, Ocean Cats, Bob's in there, Laurie, S Montgomery, Elaine, Tammy, and the truckers something radio that went through there. Pam K36 is moving too quickly now. Mimi 3212 and Rose in there as well. Hello to all of you. Thank you for joining me tonight. So let me now get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. Every single live stream that I do, every video that I do on my channel, they're the foundation of everything that I do. So thank you guys so much for all of your support and allowing me to continue to make the analysis videos. And the other stuff that I do, for example, over on Authentic Vocal, recently I had a project that I've been working on for a few months where I've got 7 vocal coaches where I kind of put together lots of performances and then totally natural vocal performances, which is really cool. And that's over on @official Authentic Vocal. But I will release that on this channel in the future as well, so it will be able to reach the subscribers here. I think over on @official Authentic Vocal, we are at about 4,500 subscribers, which is great considering that I spend all of my time here, and that other channel will be something that I'm working more on in 2026 and getting other performances up there, so you know exactly where to go to see totally natural authentic performances and authentic vocals. Obviously that's what it's all about, not going through post-editing with tuning or anything like that. But anyway, we are on the Wings of Pegasus channel tonight, and we will be addressing just a year that seems to have passed really quickly. They seem to be going more quickly every year, and this is definitely accelerating, or seems to be. But the whole year has been an interesting one, with I think probably for the first time where we're now having to put AI in the conversation, because that's something that's really taken off over the last year, with a lot of accounts made at the beginning of the year with music claiming to be one thing, and then artists and pictures that don't even artists that don't even exist, but the pictures that don't even make sense. So we've had to look at that this year. We'll see what happens in 2026, and it might be the case that we have to really focus on what is real, and then pointing out that Authentic Vocal is the place to go for that, but also to let everybody know what is going on. And I saw something recently which I will make a video on probably relatively soon, and it's something that is being billed as one thing, and it's all to do with the the festive spirit, and it was a program very much in that vein, and it was unbelievable what the live performance was. But I'll get into that video probably quite soon over this Christmas period to keep it relevant. But I can see that there have been some donations over on PayPal, so let me get the donations tab up on screen, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. But thank you guys for the donations that do come through. I think it's important that between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But you don't have to donate for anything that I do on the channel. They're just making requests, or even just commenting, hitting the thumbs up is great as well. But if you want to make requests, then make sure that you send them through to requests@wingsofpegasus.com. And I'm still getting a lot of request emails through the business contact email, so try and avoid that if you can, because the business stuff and people contacting me about interviews and that kind of stuff is getting a little bit difficult to manage because of all of the other emails that are coming through that are requests. So make sure that you do send them to the requests@wingsofpegasus.com email address, because then I will be able to see them, whereas that they can get lost in the other inbox. Right. Now, a lot of people have been asking about my tooth situation, so I'll give you an update on that. On Saturday, the live stream was a lot different because I couldn't really talk, because I'd had a toothache, or wisdom toothache, which I thought it was, since probably the Wednesday, and then the Thursday and the Friday. By Thursday and Friday, I was taking as much ibuprofen as possible, or that they recommend, not going over the dosage that I was taking. So then Saturdays, when I tried to get an emergency appointment with a dentist, but they couldn't find anything, so I rang 111, which is like an emergency number, not quite as serious as 999, but where somebody will give you advice of what to do, and that the NHS will try and sort something out. And that came up with nothing as well. And on Saturday, it was at the point where I couldn't open my mouth and I couldn't really talk very much. So when they said, what you've got to do is ring back on Monday, and then you might be able to get something on Monday or Tuesday. And I thought, I'm not going to wait here until Tuesday, with kind of how uncomfortable it was and the pain, and not being able to open my mouth to eat, which is a little bit crazy. So I started taking, and let me clarify that I started taking an unstarted course of antibiotics that my mum and dad happened to have, and it was the exact antibiotics that are given to people with the problem that I had, with dental problems and infections, because I knew that it had to be an infection, the amount of pain that I was in. So I started taking those on Saturday, and today is my last day of those. But I did go to the dentist yesterday, and I explained everything that happened. Of course, they said, you shouldn't really self-diagnose or take things without it being, I guess, suggested, or without the prescription being written by a dentist. So but they still understood, because they know what it's like when you get pain like that, and it's wisdom teeth with an infection. They understood and wrote me another prescription to then get the same thing that I'd already taken again, in order to replace the one that I'd taken from my mum and dad. So last day today, and as you can probably tell, because I'm doing this live stream and I am talking, it means that the situation has improved. And the dentist actually said that they would have prescribed exactly what I've been taking for exactly the amount of time that I've been taking it, and just to make sure that I finish the full course, and that'll be finishing today. So fingers crossed it'll be all right. The only problem is that my wisdom teeth at the back are rubbish, and they're in the wrong place. So I've got to go for an X-ray within the next 30 days at a hospital, and then they'll have a look at it. I think I've been through that before, but they're going to see if they can remove them, because the dentist said they're in such a weird place. They're off to the side. They're kind of half a tooth off to the side, whereas they should be in line with the other teeth, I think. So that's probably why they ache so much, and then when you get an infection, why it hurts so much. And on Saturday, the problem was that it had started to spread down here, so kind of underneath my jaw. So it was all around the side here, and then that's when I thought, right, well, I've got to do something about this, because otherwise it's just going to get out of hand. But everything has improved, and fingers crossed it'll be fine. I finished the course today, and go to hospital at some point within the next 30 days, get the x-ray, and then they'll see if they can actually remove my wisdom teeth, which will probably be a pain when they do it, literally, but be less of a pain for the rest of my life, not having to deal with the wisdom tooth pain and potential infections. Because where my tooth is, the dentist said that there's a gap where there's food and stuff that can get into that gap and cause an infection at any point. So yeah, I've just got to keep my teeth as clean as possible, which I do try to do. But yeah, I don't really want to deal with that kind of pain continually throughout my life, now and again. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed they can sort it out. So, right. Anyway, thank you, Paul, for this $10 donation. And the message is Merry Christmas to all Jarl and Yins. So thank you for that. I'm just looking into... I'm just reading, and sometimes I jump into the live stream and the live chat room where people are talking about different things. Like Elizabeth says, they've only found out now, your wisdom teeth. So yeah, I'm not sure what that refers to. Maybe have the dentists only just found out about my wisdom teeth? I don't think so, because I had an infection years ago, and they did the x-ray, but then the dentist said that it was too close to a nerve to operate, to remove them. So it's better just to leave them and see what happens. Now the thing that's happened is I've got another infection now, so I don't know whether they'll do an x-ray and think, well, yeah, it's better to take out the tooth rather than wait to get another infection again. But I don't know, on the flip side, when they said before that they didn't want to operate because it's the tooth is too close to a nerve and there could be complications, and if you mess with the nerve, then you could be in pain for the rest of your life, and that's not particularly something that I want to go through. I guess it's going to be weighing up the options, whether taking a risk and not having any more pain for the rest of your life, or having pain for the rest of your life, or putting up with the infection that might happen, once every 5 or 10 years. I can't remember. It might even be 10 years ago that I had that before. So, yeah, I don't know. We will see. But, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a bit of a balancing act, because I certainly don't want to be feeling that pain all the time. That would be very depressing. Right, we are going to be jumping into the PayPal window because we've had a few donations in there, quite a lot. Nicole's donated £20, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, I join all your friends to wish you a Merry Christmas, good health, good things, and the best for you and your family. Great rock time. So thank you for that, and Merry Christmas to you as well. And Elrod has donated £6 as well. Thank you for that, Elrod. Ian's donated £1. Thank you for that, Ian. And Connie's donated £50. Thank you for that, Connie. The message is, it's Christmas time again. Hope you have a joyous holiday. So yeah, thank you for that. Merry Christmas to you as well. Bryony's donated £20. And Bryony says, hi Phil, happy Christmas and New Year to you and all wingers. So thank you for that, Bryony. Merry Christmas to you. Gail's donated £50. Thank you for that, Gail. The message is, dearest Phil, wishing you and your family a joyous holiday season. Love, Gail. So thank you for that. Merry Christmas, Gail. Cindy's donated £100. So thank you for that, Cindy. Very kind donations here. You don't have to donate, by the way. Just watching is great, but yeah, the donations are very much appreciated. The message with this is, hi Phil, I'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for your work on getting the Vocal Coaches video together and getting it out in time for Christmas also. So yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, getting everything together and getting it released before Christmas, but it's something that I wanted to do in 2025, considering that, yeah, I started it a few months ago. Now, what is really interesting is that I don't think this is a coincidence. In May time, was it May? Maybe earlier than that, maybe February, March time, earlier this year. So I set up the whole Authentic Vocal YouTube channel and the Instagram and set up the website and announced it on this channel. And as soon as I did that, things with my channel really kind of nosedived. They fell off a cliff, with the amount of subscribers being told about my videos as I released them, and the viewing figures went down, the subscriber count, new subscribers went down, quite dramatically. And that happened at the beginning of the year, February, March time. And then things kind of picked up, and I'd say over the last, and this is the thing with the algorithm, that you will be affected for quite a long time, and it might take a few months or even more than that to then get back to your normal figures that you'd see with releasing new videos and all the other figures that are to do with analytics. But I'm just going to skip this advert. Skip that. So yeah, getting the figures back to what they normally are can take multiple months, and that was the case for me. So now coming into Christmas, the figures were, as I would expect, and quite good, and I was quite happy. And now as soon as I mentioned Authentic Vocal again, things did the same thing. Like, YouTube stopped telling people about my videos and my subscribers about my videos, and there's been a dramatic decline over the last, what I'd say is probably 2 weeks. So it's quite a sudden thing. And I can't help but think, is there something with, because the way that it works is YouTube has a deal with the major record labels. This is how it works, and that's why so many channels can feature different songs by artists, and the copyright claims means that the record labels get ad revenue from videos looking at their songs. So there's an agreement in place there. But what I'm doing is I'm pointing out things that the major record labels don't necessarily want people to know about, post-pitch correcting live performances of artists that are signed to their label, and other things that would be going on, maybe even lip syncing and miming. So when I mention about that, it's not particularly positive for the labels, and I think as soon as I start pointing people in that direction of authentic vocal and highlighting real vocals and humans singing naturally without the other things going on that the major labels kind of want to cover up, but I just show exactly what's going on. There seems to be this, all of a sudden, a massive drop off in all of the numbers on my channel, which again, we're going to have to kind of try and pick it up again for next year. But what I would like is, it's never going to happen because of the nature of what I do, but what I would love to happen is for the authentic vocal stuff that I do to get just as much coverage as other videos that I do that are unauthentic vocal related, because it would be great to get natural voices out there as well, and get a place that is a positive place to go, in a community that just appreciates great vocalists, and that can be on the same level as the mainstream music industry, so you can decide what you want to get into and which singers you want to listen to, which live performances. But at the moment, it seems like when you do try just to say that, by the way, these singers over here are really singing, that's all kind of turned down to 0, and then all the other performances that I'm asked to look at all the time on the channel by the music industry, those are turned up to 11. They want everyone to watch those performances because they know that they're perfect performances because they have been heavily edited, so the singers are never going to miss a note. But they don't want people watching other singers who are still hitting all of the notes, but in a lot more authentic way and with more expression to their voice, because obviously if you start putting the attention on other singers that the record labels haven't signed, then that's a problem for them, because they're then losing a lot of their audience over to the other side. But hopefully in the future we'll keep on doing what we can. And if you want to get your hands on any merchandise, either Wings of Pegasus or authentic vocal related, then you can do. It'll be in the tray underneath this video, and that will take you through to the Dashery store, and you can start wearing the registered trademark of authentic vocal and spreading the word about that, or you can get the Wings of Pegasus merch as always. So anyway, Tammy's donated £50, so thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, Merry Christmas. I hope that you and your lovely family have a beautiful day filled with love, joy, laughter, good food, and lots of presents. Love and rock. So thank you for that. And Bridget has donated £25. Thank you for that. And the message is, Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you as well, Bridget. Debbie's donated £50. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil, I hope your tooth is feeling better. I will be on catch-up crew tonight, but wanted to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. Thanks for all you do. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. Merry Christmas to you. Amy's donated £5 as well. Thank you for that, Amy. The message is, catch-up crew for me, spite the likes and the eggnog if appropriate. So thank you for that, Amy. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. Paul as well, donating $25. And the message is, Merry Christmas, Phil. So yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody in the live chat room tonight. And yeah, Lisa W's donated £35 and 48 pence as well. And the message is, happy holidays to you and your family, Phil. Happy holidays to all the wingers also. Thank you for another year of great videos, live stream entertainment, and amazing guitar demos and jams. You are an exceptional host. Looking forward to another fun-filled year together. So thank you for that, Lisa. And a Merry Christmas to you. And Sue's donated £50 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. The message is, Merry Christmas, Phil. Wishing you a wonderful holiday season. So Merry Christmas to you, Sue. And Karen's donated £7 and 10 pence. So thank you for that. And the message is, Merry Christmas from beautiful, rainy Sacramento, California, Phil. I just saw some of the Kennedy Center honors and Brooks and Dunn were totally faking to play guitar. It was all quite bizarre, not those being honored in brackets. So yeah, thank you for that, Karen, and Merry Christmas to you as well. And Bob has donated £100. Thank you for that, Bob. Some very kind donations here. Of course, you don't have to donate, but thank you very much. The message is, hope you have a great Christmas and good fortune in the new year. So thank you, Bob, and a Merry Christmas and the same to you. Orlando's donated £7. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, I'm attending a friend's Christmas party before I go off to work. Happy Christmas to all in the UK. Merry Christmas to all in the USA. Spike the likes. So thank you for that, Orlando. Yes, great idea. Now, tonight's likes goal is set at 350. Now, I'm going to have to try and figure this out in order to do the screen capture, which is here, but move away to the stream settings, because that's now where we can see how many likes we are at. So let me get the likeometer up on screen. We're aiming for 350 tonight to bust out the guitar for a festive Phil jam. And at the moment we're at 269. So that means we're looking for what? 81? That might be correct. It might not be correct. But that's just the number that my head gave me. So I think that's right. 81 more likes before the end of the live stream. So if you could hit that thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. Right, now with the cover video for tonight, it looks like Don't Stop Believin' is in the lead with 52% of the vote. The other song is The Power of Love. So if you want to hear either of those songs tonight, my cover version, of course, you can click on that at the top of the live chat room. And we'll keep an eye on that because it seems to be quite close, that vote at the moment. Right, we'll keep an eye on the likeometer as well because now we're up to 281. So if you can keep on hitting the thumbs up, that would be great. So now, I know that on the channel I haven't done a host of Christmas type videos. I've just been getting through the videos as normal, but there might be one or two coming up. But yeah, it seems like even at Christmas when I'm watching different performances and people are sending me different performances, there are so many things that aren't quite what they seem. So Melody Rock says, why the acoustic guitar is back? So why is the acoustic guitar back? Just because I was moving things around in this room. And yeah, the case for the acoustic guitar was in its case, and the case was taking up lots of space. So the Mugabe that used to be there, of course, folds up and takes up a lot less space. So I thought, why am I having the big acoustic case in the way? Not too much in the way, but just, bigger than having the Mugabe, which I can fold away and put in a little bag. And yeah, that's going to be a lot more convenient for just saving space and being more organized. So that is why the acoustic is now in the background. No, I was going to say no conspiracy or anything. Nothing deep or anything to hide about just hanging a different guitar out. Just happens to be that was the reason. And we still have the other Mugabe there, the electric guitar version of the Mugabe. So there still is one represented in the background. And now the only thing that we're missing is the gem hiding behind the Christmas tree and the microphone on the side of this screen. It is the Strat that's plugged in tonight, so if we do get the fill jam going, that is the guitar that we will bust out. And we are still doing this setup of using the laptop, running that into my Scarlett interface, and then running the guitar through that all at the same time, so that it's all in sync, and hopefully the mix will be okay. But it seems to be working a little bit better, even though obviously it's more of a pain setting everything up, having to get the laptop out and going on to Patreon and getting the message from there and be able to click on whatever the backing track will be. So hello to everybody in the live chat room, and I can see everybody going through there. And Cindy said, what a surprise, it's the Strat plugged in. Yeah, I think that's a little bit sarcastic because the Strat is always plugged in. I think it is probably my go-to if I just pick up the guitar and play. And Heather says, will extraction affect your singing or affect my singing? Now this is something that, it could do, it might do. It's difficult to say. It's something that I know singers in the past have avoided any kind of dental work, because if they had a particular voice and it was very unique, they didn't want to mess with the natural tone that's produced, because when you sing, your resonance chamber is your head. So the sound bounces around, and the tone and the sound of your voice is, hugely dependent on just the shape of your skull and how the frequencies resonate in your skull. So if you now take out parts, like for example teeth, or you have teeth moved, there's a chance that the frequencies will resonate in a different place, and you might lose a part of your resonance or the fullness of your voice. It's very difficult until you're in the situation of having now changed how your voice is resonating in your head. All you can do is, like, say for example I had my wisdom teeth out and now my voice, for example, had a duller sound because the teeth weren't there to vibrate as much, and I would think, oh, my tone's now changed because I've changed the resonance chamber or edited it. So I don't know, that's another consideration, but I think it's all going to have to be something that I talk through with the dentist when they talk about maybe removing the teeth. I feel like it shouldn't have, hopefully, fingers crossed, it shouldn't have too much of an effect, but you never know. So we'll have to wait and see. And the example, or should I say what I was talking about with people who have avoided any kind of work, the famous example of that is Freddie Mercury, who said about his teeth, and it really does make up his resonance chamber that he didn't have anything done to his teeth because he didn't want to change the sound of his voice. And in his case, I think there's even more reason for that, because we wouldn't be talking about just taking some teeth out of the back. It might be that you are making the resonance chamber and the space in the mouth smaller by, moving teeth, potentially kind of back, if you're wearing a brace, pushing teeth back into the mouth. Therefore, it's now blocking the airflow that used to go through there. So yeah, I can see that point of view, that for somebody like Freddie Mercury, where you're fundamentally changing, a lot of teeth and the shape of that resonance chamber, kind of just in your mouth, the part where the sound is being produced here, and rather than the kind of nasal sound where obviously it's being produced, where the noise comes out of your mouth. And I've said this loads of times, where if you hum and then you hold your nose, the humming stops, because that's how it works. That's when you do have nasality in your sound and you just go purely nasal and you hum, that humming sound is what's coming out of your nose. But with Freddie Mercury, when we're talking about belting, like he didn't have a voice that was really kind of covered or nasal. It was, quite bright and aggressive. So yeah, if he were to lose that, I can understand why he wouldn't have wanted to do anything to potentially damage or affect his instrument, or the instrument that was his voice. So yeah, thank you for that. And I'm just going to jump into the PayPal window because there's been another donation in there, and it's Tim who's donated £10. So thank you for that. And the message is not much, but I hope it helps, Tim. So thank you for that, Tim. And yeah, I mean, you don't have to donate at all. Everything is very much appreciated. So thank you for that, Tim. And yeah, this is why I have on screen, just letting everybody know the percentages. I think it's important that if you do donate, you know exactly where your money is going. So yes, thank you guys for joining me on the, and I'm not wrapping up here. I'm going to say, well, that was, if I'd thought about that more, that would have been a good pun for Christmas. I'm not wrapping up, but I'm not wrapping up the live stream by saying thank you for joining me, because I'm going to say thank you for joining me throughout 2025, because it's been an interesting year, and yeah, a lot has happened with the Authentic Vocal project, but also, passing 500,000 subscribers on the channel, which is crazy. So thank you everyone for watching and subscribing and commenting, and especially I think for joining me on the live streams, because we have a really cool community here on a Tuesday and a Saturday, which is totally separate to the videos that I do, and we don't really get into anything analytical during the live streams, even though we do talk about videos, especially if a particular video has had a bit of an impact and has had a lot of views, or maybe the focus of the video, they might have changed their website or done something different just because of my video. So it's always interesting to kind of keep up to date with what's going on in kind of reaction to my videos. But yeah, it's been a busy year. I think every year from now on is going to be very busy, but still it is cool to do the videos and do the live streams, and for you guys to tune in here. So I do very much appreciate you guys tuning in and spending your time with me during the live streams, and yeah, getting us up and close to the Phil Jam likes goals, because I can see now we're looking for 19 more people to hit the thumbs up in order to bust out the guitar and have a jam at the end of tonight's live stream. So let me jump over to the super chat window, which means the like comment is going to disappear, and we can see a little bit of a message in the super chat window, because now here, if I, you can't see the little thumb or the hand, the pointer that I'm putting over there, but yeah, I now have to go to this different screen, so it does disappear. We had a donation from the Trucker's Eye. I was just trying to read that username all in one, and that's a £10 donation, so thank you for that. And the message is no message, Phil, just thank you for the honest content. So thank you for that. And Karen donated $10, and Karen said Freddie was actually born with 4 extra incisors. That's why he had buck teeth. I have to move this out of the way now so I can see what's going on. In your case, it's not additional teeth, so hopefully it won't make a difference. So thank you for that. And yeah, with my teeth, because the reason I think it wouldn't necessarily have too much of an impact is because it's not changing the shape of the teeth that are going on. You know, the teeth at the front and the bottom and all the other ones are still remaining where they are. There'll just be ones that are now missing from the back, but the wisdom teeth that I have are half covered, and the reason that they're such a pain is because they are half a tooth out of line. So I think it's like when they try and push through, they're trying to push through something that wasn't designed to be pushed through. So that's why it's quite painful, and maybe why they have to get removed. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I'm going to get rid of the lycometer so that I can reset it. Oh, but hang on. A donation's just come through from the Trucker's Eye again for £10, so thank you for that. And the message is, I'm a Dream Theatre fan, Phil, but been watching a lot of Chris Rea interviews this week for obvious reasons. I'm completely blown away. Oh, let me scroll across. By his shyness for being a rock star. What's your thoughts on him? So, I think probably a couple of years ago, maybe a few years ago, around Christmas time, I did a Chris Rea analysis video. And yeah, I mean, I guess what people don't necessarily appreciate is that with very creative people and you know, Chris Rea, who actually I think he recorded quite close to where I live, maybe in Cookham, which is kind of really close to Maidenhead. But yeah, Chris Rea, especially with his voice and the raspiness that he had in there, totally unique sound to his voice. But you sometimes forget when people are, you know, very, very well known and, you know, famous, and their music does very well, and, you know, they tour and play huge shows. You sometimes forget that, yeah, they're just a person, they're just a normal person. And sometimes you can have an artist who is very inward in the way that they write and they perform, and this is the case, I think, for a lot of instrumentalists who spend a long time, and because I play guitar, I'm kind of now shifting the focus to this, but also, I mean, it might be the case that it can be the same for singers as well. But I think more of the singing population tend to be a little bit more outgoing if they are pursuing that. You know, some people might kind of sing at home but then not have the confidence to do it in front of people. And with playing an instrument, you know, you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours at home just playing and practicing and getting to, you know, a really impressive technical level. But it doesn't mean that you're now outgoing. And then sometimes when people then want to play in front of people, then, you know, they might not have the confidence to do that. So yeah, I think instrumentally you can do that. With singing, it's a little bit different, because in order to practice singing, you can't really practice it by being quiet. Whereas when you're playing the guitar, for example, you can plug into an amp and put your headphones into the amp so you can play, and nobody really is that affected by what you're doing. So yeah, you can get in some really effective practicing that way. But if you're looking to sing, and, you know, you're looking to work on belting, for example, it is something that's like an extrovert move rather than being introverted. Yeah, you've got to put your voice out there, and then if people hear you singing, then you might be self-conscious of them judging you, and then you won't want to do it. So yeah, there's that whole side of it. But yeah, there are a lot of artists and instrumentalists who are, yeah, very introverted and they've just got to a really impressive level at what they do, and then they get some attention, and sometimes that attention can be too much. And sometimes further down the line, didn't happen with Chris Rea, but sometimes further down the line, those kinds of artists actually take a step back and they think, I don't like that. I don't like the mainstream industry and the way that it works. I just want to produce my music and for people to buy it, but I'm not into the whole fame thing. And yeah, I totally understand that. To me, the whole fame thing, it isn't appealing. I think it's for, musicians, artists who just want to get their music out there and want to make it, their job, their full-time thing. Then you can do that without having to be famous. You don't have to sell millions and millions and millions of albums. You can still make a living being a musician and selling your music. As long as you own your music and the publishing rights, you can make a living doing that without the fame. And I think that is, in my opinion, a lot more, I don't know, I was going to say effective, but for me, it's a lot more of a sane way to do it, because you're living a normal life and you're not given that illusion of fame, which I refer to all the time about people signing record deals and now they're famous and they don't realize that they're not actually making any money because of the fame, that they're kind of seduced by that and don't really see what is actually going on until the end of their recording contract, and then they realize that they don't have any money. So I think it's a lot better to just be the artist you are, and for everyone to then buy into the artist that you are as well. And it might be surprising sometimes when you see them on a big screen and they got a raspy vocal and they seem confident, but then when they're interviewed they are very quiet. And I mean, that happens with actors as well, who on screen that they can be acting ridiculously as a character, but then you see them interviewed and they're just really quiet and a bit shy. So it's almost like a total disconnect from how you would expect them to be. But anyway, thank you for that. Right, now where are we time wise? We are 11:46, so we are getting close. 14 minutes to Christmas. And let me just, I was going to reset the likeometer thing, not reset it, but show it on screen. So we are at 357 likes so far. 358 likes so far. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. It means that we will bust out the guitar and have a jam and see what happens with that. A festive jam a little bit later on. So we'll see what Joe has in store for us. Right, let me look at that vote. Don't Stop Believing has 53% of the vote at the moment. And The Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News, my version of either of those two songs, that's what's up for the cover video tonight. So keep on clicking on whichever one of those you want to have a listen to. Right, I think we might jump into Picture Corner because we have a lot of pictures to get through tonight. I'm just going to check how many there are. Right, there's... I'm trying to... It's always the way that when you want to try and change the file name of a file on your computer, it never registers and you can't do it and it's really annoying. When you just want to click on a file and not change the name of the file, rename it, it'll now change to now renaming the file. So that's just what was going on. It was changing for me to rename the files. No, I just want to look at the files. But anyway, having said all of that, I now need to set up the screen capture to get these pictures in. And I'm going to have to just scroll through all of these, make sure that they are all... they were all within the box apart from one, which is just a lot bigger than the other ones. So let me get down to... now the down button isn't even registering. Okay, right. Let's just jump into Picture Corner. We'll work our way through it and see what happens. So, let's get the first one up on screen. And, I mean, that was almost in the middle, so kind of winning. But let me try and find where the screen capture layer is. There it is. Right, let's move it into about there because of all this other stuff on the screen getting in the way, which doesn't help too much. But the first picture is, well, we've got some Wings of Pegasus socks that I can see there. And we're going to have to get used to this because Amy has sent us multiple pictures of her Wings of Pegasus socks, or stockings as they are on the fireplace there. And the message is, my Wings of Pegasus socks arrived in time for Christmas. We filled them with UK treats for Santa. I was reading that like it was going to be some kind of poem or rhyme, but it isn't. We filed them with UK treats for Santa. We filled, and that wasn't a misspelling by Amy. She spelled that correctly. I just read that incorrectly. So we filed them. We filled them with UK treats for Santa. Jamie, Dodgers, Turkish Delight, Terry's Chocolate Orange, Chocolate Bar and Maltesers. The logo is printed on and looks great, stretched and stretched. So thank you for that. We now, let's get through this. This is Jammy Dodgers. What's the next one? Turkish Delight, of course. And a chocolate orange chocolate bar, I think. I actually haven't seen one of those, or maybe it's a different package to one that we have here in the UK. Maltesers, and next picture. So this, I've done it all in the wrong order now, so I'll just find my way to the message. It's Leslie who said, I bought my Wings of Pegasus Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. What is going on with reading messages tonight? I'll start again. I bought my Wings of Pegasus, and this actually should be brought. Okay, I brought my Wings of Pegasus t-shirt and leather patch on holiday with me. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. So thank you for that, Leslie. Right, next one. Okay, this is from Karen, and Karen says, Happy Christmas, Phil, to you and yours. Much love, your Wings of Pegasus supporters. And this has a message on there that says, Dear Phil, wishing you a joyful Christmas. May all your wishes come true. Love and best wishes, your Wings of Pegasus supporters. So thank you for that. And the last one is this, and the message is from Amy. Phil's family should buy this for him. He plays football with his nephews, set up their video games, and is a rock guitarist. Fun, cool Phil. Who could be more fun? So thank you for that, and thank you, Laura, for linking me to these pictures. So that is it for Picture Corner. Tonight has been a busy one, so we are now going to leave Picture Corner. But that reminded me about sorting out my nephew's presents and things and computer games and everything. Over Christmas, we had a pretend Christmas, or an early Christmas. It wasn't pretend because we actually did everything that we normally do at Christmas on the 14th of December, I think it was, because my sister and my nephews are going on holiday, or going skiing. So, yeah, on a skiing holiday. So it meant that they were going to be away at Christmas. And my sister had bought my nephews these codes that you put into a computer game to then be able to get different things on the computer game. But she doesn't know how to do any of that. So she said to my nephews, here you go. Merry Christmas. Here's this present. And then, of course, it is now up to me to try and figure out how to do it and how to get it working on the computer. And about 3 hours later, we did finally get there. But what's so crazy about, the PlayStation 5 and just pretty much all gaming nowadays is that they need to have your email address, your name, your phone number, and all of your personal details just to play a game. Whereas, I think back in the day, I'm so thankful that when I was a kid, I didn't have to do any of this, because now my nephews have had to, or I've had to create email addresses for all of them, and give them passwords, and then I've had to set up another, what is it called? I can't remember, but it's like a Uplay account, which means you're now setting up another gaming account for the email that you've got so that you can play online on the game. And different games have different companies that you're registering with, so you have to keep doing this over and over again. Like for EA Sports, that's a different one, so you now need another email, or you need the same email but you need to register with EA Sports rather than like Ubisoft and Uplay, which is that Ubisoft that make games. So yeah, you have to keep doing this, and that's exactly what I had to do for my nephews. And the problem is, because I got 3 nephews, I have to go through the same process 3 times if I can even do it once, because it's really annoying and complicated. And they then want to set up the 2-factor authentication, for what effectively is like a 9-year-old. So you think, well, how do we try to navigate our way around this so they can just play the game? They just want to play the game. So back in the day, when I got a computer game such as my Game Boy, for example, and I got Super Mario World, something like that, the game was something that you took out of the packet, you put it in, and then you started playing it. That was it. There were no emails, no passwords, no 2-factor authentications to go through. You bought something, and then you played what you'd brought. You played what you bought. So everything is crazy, and nowadays, of course, with the online transactions that you're buying stuff in game, but it doesn't actually exist. It's just a pair of trousers that your character can wear now that cost actual £5, whereas you could go to a shop and buy actual trousers for £5. Oh, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, let me skip this advert that's about to come through. We will bring this to a close, the poll at the top of the live chat room, and we will see which one won out. It is Don't Stop Believing with 53% of the vote. So thank you guys for clicking on that. Right, we will jump into this, and we'll see how much time we've got after this, because we will be having the Fill Jam. I'll have to check how long the Fill Jam is, because if it's a long one, then we'll need all the time that we can get at the end of the live stream. But if not, we might be able to squeeze something else in. So I hope you guys enjoy this, my version of the Journey Classic, Don't Stop Believing, and I'll see you after. Rock!
Town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night.
so much for watching my cover of Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The names and thank you guys for watching my cover of Don't Stop Believing by Journey again. I was just cutting off the end of that video because we have to keep organised for tonight's live stream because we have only 15 minutes left of the live stream, but we are now officially into Christmas Day here in the UK. So if anybody is watching from the UK, then Merry Christmas to you. And if you're watching anywhere else and you're not yet at Christmas, then yeah, have a great Christmas when you do join me, when your clocks actually get to midnight. So, by the way, we are going to be having in a week's time the New Year's Eve live stream, as we always do, so you can join me then. And I'm just trying to get my head around what else is going to be going on. Oh yeah, so that's going to be next week, so it means there's no live stream next Tuesday night. We'll be doing exactly as we've done this week, and we'll be live streaming on the Wednesday night, which is New Year's Eve. So if you could join me then, that will be great. And I think if you're, well, maybe over in the USA, it means that I'm going to be getting into the new year before you guys. But yeah, if you could join me, that would be cool. And I can see that there is a little bit more action in that donations window, the super chat window. So thank you guys for these. And the message from Jennifer after the $5 donation is, Phil, please say hi to Angela, who is really sick, and if possible, hope they can use gas if they pull your tooth. Merry Christmas to your monitors. So thank you for that, and yeah, get well soon, Angela. And Diamond Girl has donated $2, so thank you for that. And the message is, red shirt, ? Great for Christmas. This was absolutely intentional. That I have the only red shirt that I have, and very long time viewers will know exactly what shirt this is that I'm wearing, and it really is because I just have the same clothes and pretty much always have the same clothes. So this particular shirt you'll probably see me wearing 10 years ago. It is a Batman shirt, but it is red, so it goes with this red hoodie, which occasionally I do wear, but I think more often than not it's now becoming a bit of a Christmas hoodie just because it's red. So yes, we will maybe just keep this outfit. The hat, of course, has to be just worn on Christmas Eve. That's the way that it works. But Tortora Porco has donated $10. Thank you for that. And the message is, please explain the idea behind Christmas crackers at the dinner table. Oh, and what is this all about? This is a tradition that we have here where you pull on one side of a cracker. It's called a cracker because it makes a cracking sound when you pull it apart, like I was going to say a tiny bit of gunpowder, but yeah, that just kind of brings up images of having like a barrel of gunpowder. It's not like that. It's a tiny little explosion that happens, and just a crack. So when you pull the cracker, there's then a gift inside that one of you gets. Like whoever wins the pulling of the cracker, whoever gets the most of it, wins the prize. Of course, people can cheat, and people do cheat, where they grab really far up the cracker and pull not the handle part, but the actual part that has the gift inside it. And everybody knows when they're pulling a cracker with somebody who's cheating. You should just grab the end of it, pull, and then whatever happens, happens. Now, as for why we do that, I'm sure that I looked this up because I was curious myself. And I looked up why we call Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. And that was because people that used to work for families would get presents, and the Boxing Day was the time where the family said thank you to the people that were helping out, and so they were given boxes of things or something. It was very much like a thank you to the workers, the Boxing Day, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But getting into crackers I'm going to have to look this up again because I'm not sure what the reason was behind it, whether it's a gift giving thing or not. There's got to be some kind of relevance to having the gift inside the cracker that somebody gets. So, I mean, I could actually do a quick search here, as long as the stream doesn't collapse due to me doing too much. So, Christmas crackers tradition. What meaning? Let's do that. And symbolizes festive celebration. That's not really giving us much of a go. Okay, right, so apparently a guy called Tom Smith decided to do that. So there you go. I thought there would have been something more to it than somebody just saying, meaning and symbolism. Pulling the cracker requires two people, symbolizing partnership and shared festivity. Surprise and joy. The pop and reveal of a joke, toy and crown bring a moment of light-hearted surprise and fun. Victorian tradition. It became a quintessential British Victorian custom signifying celebration and camaraderie, a tradition that continues worldwide. So there you go. I think probably the last one that was most relevant to the UK. But yeah, so I thought there's maybe something deeper than that, than just saying, let's just invent something that's fun to get a gift out of. So anyway, there you go. Not particularly interesting reason behind it. So anyway, thank you for that, Tortoro Porco. Now, I've got to get organised because we are going to be having the Phil Jam. So, microphone on. MacBook. Woken up. Backing track. Ready. Right, guitar. That's going to help. So, thank you guys, by the way, for hitting the thumbs up, ensuring that we have the Phil Jam for tonight. Let me see if I can... I'm going to have to get rid of the likes so that I can reorganize it. It's so stupid now that the likeometer is in settings. Doesn't make any sense to me as to why it's in settings. And oh no, the ultimate has happened. I've double clicked on the window that I need all of the buttons, so it just disappeared, but it's back. So this is on, and this is the backing track. It's called Jazzy Christmas Backing Track in A, and this is from YT Jam Tracks, capital Y, capital T for YouTube. So let's maybe play it and see if you can hear it, if I can hear it, more importantly, to see what I'm actually supposed to be playing along to. Can you hear this? just a little bit longer. And there we have it. So that was Jazzy Christmas backing track in A, and that's from YT Jam Tracks, capital Y, capital T. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. A bit of a festive backing track for tonight. Hopefully you could hear that. I mean, because I'm listening to the backing track out of the laptop speakers. Hopefully I'm hearing it relatively accurately as to what the backing track actually sounds like, but whatever it is, at least it's in time, even if I can't hear the changes particularly clearly. There's a bit of movement going on there, but hopefully we got away with it. So that is it for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me on what was Christmas Eve and what is now Christmas Day. I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas, and I'll be here for New Year's Eve as well next week, live streaming at 11 PM Greenwich Mean Time as always. So if you can join me then, that would be very much appreciated. I'm going to be here with another video, I believe, on Friday night. I'm trying to think. That's Boxing Day, but it is a Friday, and I usually release a video on a Friday. So and then Sunday is going to be, what's that, like the 28th or the 29th. So that's just like a normal day. So I'll probably release a video on Sunday as well. But then we'll have the Monday and the Tuesday. No live stream on Tuesday because of New Year's Eve next Wednesday. But have a great Christmas Day, have a great Christmas in general, and have a great rest of your Christmas Eve if it's not yet Christmas where you are. And try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. I hope that Santa brings you everything that you ask for, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Merry Christmas. See you at the next video. Rock!